this is Steve Guttenberg. I'm way over here, Adam. And I am the Audiophiliac, and I'm at Stereo Buyers in beautiful Brooklyn with my pal here, Adam. And so, Adam, you were telling me just before about all of this stuff, all this incredible stuff in your shop here. And you kind of like have these fantasies about where it's going to wind up.
Yeah, yeah. Seeing that most of our sales are on the internet, I really don't get to see where all this equipment ends up.
Right.
So I have to kind of daydream about it.
Right.
And we ship pretty much all across the entire world.
Right.
And so sometimes, when things are quiet here and I'm maybe sitting down listening, I think, hey, I wonder where do those pair of B&W 805s go? I ship them to India. I wonder what that living room looks like. Who's in that family? What type of music are they listening to on it?
But you do have conversations with these people, right?
Well, usually it's via email.
Okay.
And
so
a lot.
You kind of know what they are sort of going for.
I mean, I don't know what the rest of their system is usually. I don't know. Usually, actually, I find out more about somebody when they bid or purchase something and can't pay for it. Like somebody just emailed me today, I can't pay for those pair of speakers. My car just broke down and I need to pay for it.
Uh-huh.
Or my daughter's going to the prom and I need to pay for her corsage.
Uh-huh.
That was a good excuse. I guess the price of corsages has been skyrocketing.
Yeah, I can see why that would be.
But apparently they're a family man, and they put their daughter before his hi-fi system, although I'm thinking maybe he shouldn't be buying hi-fi if he can't afford both. But that's not...
I remember those days when I was a salesman.
Not for me to decide.
But on the other side of the coin, you're the buyer. You're the Grim Reaper, right? You buy audio from the widowers of the dead guy's system.
We do. That does happen, and
it's not mostly what happens. You mean most of the stuff here comes from like normal people, or just
well, I would not say normal people.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Audiophile people.
Well, audiophiles come in all shapes and sizes. We recently did a pickup from a Satan worshiper.
Oh,
yes, at least that's what we think they are. It's hard to tell, and we were a little afraid to ask. They answered the door in a black hooded robe, and there was a lot of satanic statues, Nazi paraphernalia. There was drapes over the windows, and that person was a Krell and Wilson audio lover. So I don't know if you can make any correlation there.
I don't know.
They did just contact us to come back, and my pickup guy is a little hesitant to go back.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But we see all shapes and sizes of people, a lot of people living. We did a amazing pickup from somebody, a beautiful family that was looking to sell their father was 100 years old. They were in their 70s. They were the children, and they had a Western Electric system, speakers and Marantz amplifiers.
Right, I read about that one.
Yes,
Yeah.
and the amazing thing about that is that these 70-year-old children fondly remember listening to that stereo when they were just little kids, which is obviously an amazing passage of time. And they were looking to find a good home, a loving home for the system, because it meant a lot to them. They cried when I bought it. Dad was going to a home, and
he was 102?
He was around 100 years old. Whew. Yeah, and he didn't want to sell it. He didn't want to sell it, but
it away from
well, he couldn't bring it to his whatever home he was going to, which was sad. I mean, it was sad. But at the same time, I gave them a very generous amount of money, and I was able to find a good home for that equipment.
I remember you went to someplace where it was a hoarding situation, right?
You
had to clean out the house before the guy got back or something.
Well,
remember this correctly?
Well, one woman contacted me, and her husband had. We were on a time crunch to clear out the house because he had actually been institutionalized for his addiction to hoarding hi-fi equipment.
Wow.
Yes, and so it was kind of a weird situation, and ultimately what had happened is we actually ended up not buying the equipment because he he escaped from the hospital and moved it all to a storage facility in the middle of the night. Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
So, there's certain things I don't want to get in between, and that's certainly one of them.
Wow.
Yeah, all sorts of situations. I was once buying a bunch of tone arms from somebody whose husband had been unfortunately ill and hospitalized. And the box that she gave me was full of dead cockroaches and a loaded handgun. And I actually almost left with this loaded firearm and these tone arms. And thankfully I found it. And she said, "Oh, that's where it is." And I'm like,
yeah, of course.
Okay, yeah.
Look in the box.
Yeah, exactly. So, interesting stories for sure.
Well, I got one. We should end. But how about this? Is there a difference between people who buy tube versus solid state? Different kinds of people.
That's a good question. I would say that probably the two people may be a little bit more fanatical.
Okay.
Some of these people that we meet with tube gear kind of just maybe go that much further off the deep end in terms of their audio collecting and tubes and tweaks and things like that. But I would say that there's no question that the common theme is that all these people are serious music lovers. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks, Adam.
Yeah.
Steve Guttenberg, the Audiophiliac at Stereo Buyers in Brooklyn. See you next time.
Peace and love.
Bye.